whistles.
25 whistles.
Hey everybody, all right, blow it. Welcome to the show. I do want to start off with, and I brought my stat sheet on DraftKings. Just full transparency with how much I lost last year or won last year.
Let's go.
And I can tell you this, I was having a pretty good year up until about August. The last 2 months, though, really set me back.
That's when things just started getting weird in both the NFL and college.
I was very open about my struggles.
Yes.
So,
And we appreciate
Vulnerable.
I never want to be the guy that acts like he wins all the time because I don't. I do well some years. I've had years where I've really come out ahead. This was not one of those years. My total for 2025 was minus $24,256.
Say it again.
24,000. Oh my goodness.
And 18 of that 1,000 was in the last 2.5 months.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I couldn't hit.
Yeah, it was hard, dude.
Yeah.
And I was doubling up to catch up. And I was also doing a lot. I wasn't chasing, but I was doing a lot of.
No, I think that's called chasing.
No. I wasn't chasing
what it
immediately.
is.
I wouldn't chase as my emotions were high. The next week I would go, no, I checked my stat sheet. Let me try to climb back in this thing. That's a version of chasing.
It is. I think.
But
a
I don't
version of
like
chasing.
chase. I don't feel like that's chasing.
No, I don't. Chasing
is
is like
connected.
the night of
Yeah.
a big loss. You're like, I need to make it back. I
You
need to
West
make
Coast
it
chase.
back. Yeah.
And more deposits. More deposits. We're chasing.
I did a lot of bets though this year that were big bets, big futures that I did not hit.
Oh, those are all done.
I have one left. I have the 49ers. I put $1,000 on.
I can make it all back, right?
Oh yeah, it would.
Wasn't that pay like 20?
Yeah,
See?
23,000.
There we go.
Yeah,
We're not out
let's
yet,
go.
baby.
But like I bet a future and it didn't count as a loss until it hit. I bet at the beginning of the year, preseason, $2,000 on the Broncos and the Bucks to both make the playoffs. I thought that was easy money about week 7. So yeah, I lost $24,000 in 2025, and most of it was in the last 2 months of the year. So there you have it. Don't say I'm not being honest with you guys.
No, thank you. I had to. So you sent a bet, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, and I showed my kids and like, look what Bobby hit, and they were like, whoa, that's crazy. And then I was like, guys, relax. He loses a lot too. All right, just so you know.
Yeah,
Because I don't want them growing
That
up.
was a good one though. I had like
awesome.
a 7-game parlay for
Oh, yeah.
$2,400.
Yeah.
Thank
They were
God.
like, he hit all that. Yeah.
I did though, and that was fun. But yeah, it's been a rough year.
It has been tough.
Yeah. Dang, that's a lot.
I've had to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Atta boy.
Especially since our skins.
Brandon said same under his breath. I don't know if you heard him.
Oh, yeah. We haven't heard from Brandon about gambling in like 3 months.
I remember a lot of Brandon stories. Dude, I hit 5 touchdowns.
crazy.
Like,
7 parlays
And
in
I
a
did.
row.
But I have to say, you guys were 100% correct. I don't know if you remember this, but I was like, oh, yeah, I'll get into it. I started winning like just that first time. And you're like, dude, you don't understand. Like, it's not going to last. I was like, I think it's pretty good. Like 4 or 5 weeks in, I was like up. I was having, oh my God, dude. Bobby, you're not kidding. Like, this has been just the worst past like 2 months.
losing
ever.
money, but how much fun has it been?
Well, you have to do it for entertainment.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I was entertaining the crap out of minus $24,000.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
I'm trying to think, like, what else could
It was
we
so
do
much
for that
fun,
money?
man. It was awesome.
It was fun.
Woo! Look how much fun it was. So yeah, don't do it unless you have it to lose.
Yes.
And it's entertainment only.
But
obviously.
my wife thinks I have a problem because, and it's not I don't have a problem, okay? And I know if I
You know
did,
what someone without a problem says?
I don't have a problem.
Yeah.
I'm
I
no,
can quit whenever I want.
no problem here. But
I
when
have
you
black friends.
no one said that.
Oh, that's what you're called a racist. Got it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Get them mixed up.
You guys had done that bet, you know, and like what was it? It was Arkansas basketball parlayed with
San Francisco, something.
okay? And I was at a basketball game and I saw Kevin's text come in. Never saw your text come in until Kevin's came in. And I was like, oh, I want to jump in on this. And I was in a gym where there was no service during the basketball game. I'm going up to the top of the bleachers,
Attaboy.
putting my phone up
For
high.
entertainment with us, hang with your buddies.
And my wife goes, you have a problem.
You're
And
trying
I'm
to
like-
hang out with the boys.
I said, no, I'm just trying to place a bet so we can all be part of it. That's it.
yeah.
Those ones are fun, though. Like when all three
Yeah.
of us get in on one. And then you're rooting
I
for,
agree,
like,
you're
you're
all-
like hanging out, but you're not.
Exactly.
And you know what that's worth to me? $24,000.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I was a little surprised at it
yeah.
because I don't look while playing. I'll look at the end of the month and just go month. And I think the stat sheet is great too because it really lets you know what you're doing. And if
Yes.
you're losing too much, you stop. And I looked at end of the year, and it was like, oh man, my last couple months were real bad on me.
Mhm.
But it was a lot of those futures. I just never hit those futures. Never.
But to me, the futures are fun because it lasts a long time.
Oh,
when you
yeah.
wait.
a lot of entertainment there.
You know, I couldn't find it back in my stat sheet, but I looked like in December or November, and I had placed 5,000 bets last year.
Nickel at a time.
5,000 bets.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, so we'll start with a little honesty there to get us started.
Yeah.
I do have the richest athletic departments in college sports. Who has not seen the list?
I have not seen the list.
I have not.
I haven't.
You haven't? Okay. What do you think the richest athletic department is in all college sports?
Texas.
Texas.
Vanderbilt. Nah.
Not endowment for
Yeah, they're
education.
just
Oh,
rich.
okay,
That's
gotcha.
just rich to go to Vanderbilt.
Gotcha,
That'd be
gotcha.
probably like Harvard too.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
athletic departments. So I'll let you come back on that one. You can also go with their answer.
I'll go Texas.
Okay, it is Texas.
It's Texas.
At number
We-
one,
We've seen it.
it is Texas.
Oh, you saw it. Okay.
No, not the list. We saw Texas. It was crazy.
Oh yeah.
And
I
we've
wasn't
seen
there.
other rich schools, and then you see Texas.
It's unbelievable.
I don't know how they lose a single game at anything. That's the thing.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
They shouldn't.
Yeah, I missed
What-
out on that one.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Oregon, or you guys said it's better than even Oregon.
It is.
And Oregon was.
In Oregon,
Whew,
and
Oregon
that
was
was
nice.
the one that was like, wow, they have so much money. Then you go to Texas, and you're like, oh,
This is money.
this is money.
Mm.
Number two. By the way, Oregon does not make the top
Oh.
15.
That would've been my
Really?
number
That doesn't
two.
mean that their football doesn't have more,
Yeah.
because they could take and put a ton in football, which they do.
I gotta
This
guess.
is college athletic departments. Go ahead.
I'm gonna go Notre Dame.
That's a good one. I got another guess.
What is your guess?
Ohio State.
I was gonna say Ohio State.
Ohio State at 2.
Oh,
Come on.
Notre Dame at number 6. So we'll go to like 10. You guys have been on number 3.
Florida.
Michigan.
Oh, that's a good one.
You guys,
Michigan.
no, Texas A&M.
Oh, dang, they do have a lot of
Stay
money.
in Texas.
Yeah, Florida at 14.
I thought they gave all that money to. Was that coach that left?
They give it all to
Jimbo
Jimbo.
Fisher.
Jimbo's got all their
I thought He
money.
took all that money.
They had to hawk all their weights.
Gotta
And
sell the weights, guys.
just, Georgia at 4, Michigan at 5.
Okay.
So 3 of the top 4 are SEC. Michigan at 5, Notre Dame at 6. And they have Notre Dame listed as ACC because they are, except for football.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee at 7, Southern California at 8, Alabama at 9, Nebraska at 10. Penn State at 11, LSU at 12, Oklahoma at 13, Florida at 14, and Kentucky at 15.
Wow.
And it stops at 15.
Wow, Kentucky's up there, huh?
That's interesting.
Basketball, I guess. Is that
yeah.
much?
Mm.
Huh.
Is,
And they had a bad loss last night
Did
to
they?
Missouri. They keep losing. They're like,
Yeah, I was gonna say they're really bad.
They're not ranked anymore, right?
They spent a ton of money on a roster, which a lot of teams do. I think they spent more than average because that's a big part of Kentucky sports.
Right.
They're playing terrible.
Oof.
I've reposted some of Matt Jones's clips of him being like, "Thank you for taking John Calipari from us. We love it." And I'm like, I reposted one the other day. I said, "No, thank you."
Yes.
Nice,
Yeah.
got
From the
him.
bottom of my heart.
Yes, no, thank you. So yeah, that's what's up. We have a big show because we have 2 really cool interviews that we're gonna do. We can go first to Steve Smith, which I think we'll do now. Here's our talk with former NFL wide receiver Steve Smith. He was drafted 3rd round, 2001. And he's just been that dude. Carolina's all-time leader in receiving yards, touchdowns, all-purpose yards. He was inducted into the Panthers Hall of Fame, which is the Hall of Honor, in 2019. Now he's doing a lot of work with the NFL, doing a lot of media. You can follow him at Steve Smith Sr. 89. Here he is, Steve Smith. Got Steve Smith on with us. Steve, really appreciate the time, man. Big fan.
Oh, appreciate it, man. How you guys doing today?
Doing pretty good. You know, I was just looking at Mike McDaniel. Just got fired.
I know I saw that.
A lot of coaches. Right? It feels like in college football we just had this too, where it was more than I think I've ever seen. I feel like now in the NFL we're seeing this a bit. I guess I would like to talk first because it's all just so new with John Harbaugh leaving with the Ravens after 18 years. Like, what are your thoughts on that situation?
18 years is a very long time. I come in a little bit caught in between just because of being a former Raven, experiencing John Harbaugh personally, being in that city and in that organization, and then a little bit of understanding as an analyst where when you hear reports or you hear things, not everything is true. However, enough discussion really kind of brings you to the conclusion anywhere you are for 18 years, there's a little bit, I don't want to say complacency, but your message gets stale. And that's just kind of part of the business. Every organization, every individual, when you have a long-standing relationship or tenure somewhere, there are going to be people sad to see you go, and there are going to be people, unfortunately, happy to see you go, and then there's going to be people in the middle, like myself, where I'm not really sure if it's a good thing or bad thing, because you got to start to see what the next steps are. And over time, you'll say, hey, that was a good move or it wasn't.
If you were an organization and you were looking for a coach, or let's say you had a coach kind of right on the fence and you didn't know, would you bring Harbaugh in to be your guy?
Yeah, you would bring him in because you know he's going to manage every aspect of it. You know, his background is special teams. So he's not an offensive play caller. He's not a defensive play caller. So he allows his coaches to really do their job, and he just kind of oversees and manages the aspect of the team. So I think it's good. I think Harbaugh would be good for a place that has an established quarterback, that has some things already established, because he is 62 years old. And, you know, for him to start all over and be with a team that's going to rebuild and restructure and all that stuff, I think it's going to take a little bit of time, right? I'm here in Carolina, so you've seen that. It's taken a long time. They're in the playoffs for the first time in, 10 years. So to say that is how long it's going to take to build up, I don't think John Harbaugh is going to put himself at his age and the experience he's had, that he kind of want to go through that again.
We live in Nashville, and the Titans are here. I'm not a Titans fan. It's hard to be a fan of a team that isn't good and you didn't grow up around, right? So, like, they haven't been good.
Who is your team there?
I'm from Arkansas.
I'm just sitting here about to judge you. So
no,
ahead.
it's all, this is absolute truth. I'm not pandering to you at all. But so I'm from Arkansas. We did not have an NFL team, so I'm a diehard Razorback fan. And because everybody in Arkansas was a Cowboys fan, so I refused to be a Cowboys fan because Jerry Jones is from Arkansas. So this year, before the season started, I said I'm going to pick a team that does not, and I'm going to be a super fan, a team that does not have an easy culture, like an absolute winning culture. And I picked the Panthers, and I've been a diehard fan of the Panthers. Why'd you do the face?
I don't know if that's a compliment. Well, because one, I said I was going to judge you.
Yeah.
You said Arkansas and used football.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where those two actually.
They don't. They haven't in a while. Yeah, they haven't in a while. It's a great point. Yeah.
Okay.
I did pick the Panthers, and I got to keep pounding Jersey.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for jumping on the bandwagon. We're a little crowded though, but we'll let you in.
There was no wagon when I got on. It was empty. It was before the season started. So I have been a diehard year one Panthers fan, and so it's been real fun. And we went last year. I went last year to camp and talk with Bryce Young, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
We had a good time. And so I've been rooting for the Panthers.
When did you come to camp? I was there a few times. Never saw you.
Yeah, you never. I was the normal, goofy dude with the big head. You didn't see me walking around? It was at the college.
Was it Wofford?
It was at Wofford last year. Yeah, we went at Wofford.
No, it wasn't. Last year it was not at Wofford. Last year it was in
Not this year.
Last 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Yeah, because I was gonna say they haven't been at Wofford for 2 years now. So
2 years ago.
I'm just trying to keep up with the story.
Yeah. Me too, actually. Wait, did you have camp at Wofford? That didn't look comfortable. Did you have that when you were with Panthers?
Oh yeah, I spent the full year of my life in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
That did not seem comfortable for players that had a comfortable life at home.
I mean, that's what training camp is for, though, right? Training camp is not you're going to the Ritz-Carlton, you got a bungalow over the water. That's not the purpose of camp. Camp is to make you uncomfortable, to strip you away from all the luxuries, and to get down to the nitty-gritty. Can you and will you make this team and be able to focus? So you're staying at a college when you live in a house in dorms. So no, it's not very comfortable, but you can do some things to make it comfortable. I had a luxury like blow up mattress with a pillow top, and I had that for years because you can rent a bed, so I bought a luxury from, I think it was Front Gate or Sharper Image back in the day, and so I kept it for about 7 years, so I got my money's worth. because it was like $300 a day to rent a good mattress down there. So I just bought myself. I'm very as my kids would say, I'm very frugal. So
Really?
that's my thought process. Oh yeah, I'm a I pick up pennies and quarters off the street, bang, put it in my pocket, then I get a coin thing and coin collector. And then after 6 months, I cash it in, going to the coin store, $500 cash.
Did you save a lot of money while you were playing?
Oh yes, I sure did.
Because I feel like I didn't grow up with any money at all. And at first, when I
Okay.
made money, I bought
Me
all the
neither.
stuff that I didn't have as a kid. And then I got right.
Yeah, I mean I screwed it up. My first check was blew it. However, I learned a little bit after that, and so I took care of my money, and I'm pretty comfortable.
You think the Panthers can beat the Rams?
This is a recorded line. I think yes. Look,
Okay.
I just
What do the
think it's-
Panthers have to
I
do
think-
then? They have beat them before, but what do they have to do?
So, well, it's really tough because it's hard to beat a really good team twice, and it's even harder to beat a team where the team before they sustained some injuries, just like the Carolina Panthers, but they're getting some players back, and we aren't. So it's going to be tough, but eventually. But the biggest things is don't leave the field without scoring points, because Matthew Stafford is in company. Sean McVay is not going to have the same game plan. Um, and biggest part is third down. The Carolina Panthers are not great in the low 30s in third down conversion. So keeping themselves on the field, continuously going through drives and not leaving points on the board, I think they give themselves a chance. If they don't do those things, it's going to be very difficult to repeat exactly what they did last season. And ultimately, the playoffs, everything you've done in a regular season, that's great. That doesn't, you get no brownie points, and they don't give you a 4-second head start because of what you did in a regular season. Is now 0-0, and everyone has a clean slate. However, we all know the records and the statistics, and it's gonna be a tough game. But I'm excited to watch it, and excited to talk about it after.
Is it possible to be too hyped up for a playoff game as a player?
Uh, yes, but no. You want to be hyped up. You want to have nerves. Um, what where it can get you is probably in those first few series. You're so hyped up. You have so much adrenaline running through you that you get super winded super quick because you're going 100 miles per hour where you probably should have been going 75 miles per hour.
How do you feel about a team getting a bye? Let's say it's not about injuries. Do you like the week off? And would you take week 18 off if you were getting a bye? Like, that's 2 weeks off then.
Yeah. It just depends on your team. I have had the bye that's been beneficial for me at the time because I had an injury. So yes, but I also felt the rust. It took me a few series to get back in the mix of things. I prefer um, to play the wild card weekend, so you just kind of have a flow and a feel, and you can start to get in rhythm, and hopefully you get in a rhythm and going all the way to the Super Bowl. To be able to start, stop, and then reignite after watching another team run around and make their mistakes and get the rust off. I think it varies for both, for different teams, and it really counts, and people utilize it based on the outcome.
Josh Allen in the playoffs, and there's not a
Mm.
Lamar, there's not a Patrick Mahomes, and there hasn't been a Joe Burrow for a couple of years, but he's one of the elite
Mm-hmm.
guys over in the AFC. Is this a year that he's got to do it?
I think a lot of people are saying that, and I'm not. I don't think it's fair to say he has to do it because he's also playing Jacksonville Jaguars team, who is pretty stout, right? Offensively, they're doing what they're doing, but defensively, they're holding a lot of running backs, really good running backs, and James Conner is one of those guys below 75 yards per game. Jonathan Taylor, who's almost, I believe, the league leader in running back for the running backs in yards, and they held him to like 75, 74 yards. Quarterback, receivers. They're holding under 75 yards per game. So it's going to be tough to say that Josh Allen needs to do it where his supporting cast actually needs to do a little bit more and take some weight off of his back because he's been carrying that team for a very long time.
I want to talk about return yards because you have a lot of them. But when you're returning, are you approaching that different than if you're catching a ball? Meaning the players are running at you, all of them. Do you have to have like supreme peripheral vision when returning a ball?
That's a great question. Um,
Thanks.
Neither one is different. And here's why I would say when you're running a ball, when you're running a route, you jump up to catch it. What's the outcome if you drop or pat or you drop or catch the football?
If you drop it, I don't know. You still might get hit.
Yeah, if you catch it,
Oh, yeah, I mean, if you drop it, you still might get hit too if it's close.
yeah. But if you catch it, it's a guarantee you're going to get hit.
Yep.
Punt return, same thing. The difference is they have a head start. You just get to watch them. That's it. It's a mind trick. The outcome still happens only if the ball that's thrown to you in the route is uncatchable or if you fair catch. Other than that, you're going to get everything you hope you don't get when catching a punt or catching a route with the ball in hands. Big guys trying to knock the snot out of you.
Did you hate fair catching?
Yes, I sure did. I was a stat whore, so yes.
Could you tell on a punt when they're running down? Could you see the lane before the ball even got to you?
Yeah, that's where the film study comes, where the ball is going. So for me, as catching the football, I'm looking up. As I'm looking up, I'm also because look, you're on a team with 53 guys, 46 that dress. You eat breakfast with them. You're around them since in those dorm rooms 2 years ago though. Those dorm rooms where you're staying next to each other. You're learning each other. You also know who has a tougher matchup. So if my gunner is singled on the right side, doubled on the left side, I traditionally will go, okay, I need to be paying attention to my single side. But if the gunner is extremely good, and that's why they're doubling, I still have to pay attention to him. And then you're going to have an outlier where someone gets out of whack and maybe loses a little bit leverage. So I'm constantly looking at the ball at the flight of the ball. And while the flight is going, I'm looking at the football as it spins. Is the nose up, which means it will continue to keep going? Or is the nose starting to go down, which means it's going to fall? It's about to fall at that depth that we know that the punter is usually hitting. And then is it a left to right? Is it a right-footed punter or left-footed punter? Right-footed punter is spinning. It's going to go to the right. But when it's left, it actually falls and it goes to your left. Most punters are right-footed. So that throws it off and it's a different spin. So it hits your hands a little bit different. So it's a lot of calculated detailedness that's why the couch folks that watch football think they could just get off the couch after a beer and some wings and go do it. It's not that easy.
Were you a guy that when you juke somebody out, you went, whoop, yep, gotcha? Would you ever talk while making plays?
Yes, I would. I definitely would say some things. I said more things inside of my head than out loud, but then out loud would be after I make the play. But it was more a psychological thing and just, going through my keys and going through all of those things I need to do. So on the punt return, I had to make sure that was 11 guys on the field. So just 10 guys ahead of me because I would be the 11th. It took me a while to figure that out because when I first did it, I almost called timeout because we were short. And they said, hey, stupid, you need to count yourself. So that's a requirement of the punt returner. And then just kind of seeing everything. Is the return right? Is it left? Am I on the 10-yard line? If I go more than a step or 2.5 steps, that means I'm beyond the 8 yards, which means it's going to go the ball is going to go in the end zone. So I have to be cautious of that. And I got to look up and try to distract the gunners who are trying to down it within before it goes in the goal line, the end zone. And so I now have to trick them. So there's a lot of steps that goes into it that is less about what you're saying outside to people, and it's more of how quickly can you go through your checklist before the play goes on and be able to and have the right judgment call on the punt return or catching the football.
What quarterback did you have the best chemistry with?
The one I was with the longest. I was with Jake Delhomme, I think probably about 8 years. We grew up together. We made the playoffs together. We went to the Super Bowl together, NFC championships together. So athletically, though, best quarterback obviously is Cam Newton. But um, athletically gifted and spending time and growing into this game with, man, it's hard to just kind of cross out 8 years of experience to say, hey, man, I just had a more athletic quarterback for 3 years. I don't think that's necessarily fair.
Who's the team to beat in the AFC?
Man, I want to say Jacksonville. Um, I'm interested in seeing how the Patriots are going to do. I wouldn't be shocked if the Chargers win. But the Texans. The Texans are one of those teams that I'm really trying to figure out who are they, because defensively they're top notch. Um, Offensively, they've had a lot of hiccups, emotional roller coasters. So I would have to go with I'm kind of favoring the Jags or the Patriots.
I'm going to ask you the same thing about the NFC because, again, both sides, they're really – I don't feel like there's a team that's head and shoulders above everybody else. But from what you've seen, who's the team on the NFC side?
Surprisingly, I think the Bears can shock some people. The Packers were doing really good until Michael Parsons went down, and they haven't been able to generate a lot of sacks, so that their defense has changed dramatically. The Rams, let's see how they play the Panthers. Do they play down? Is this another game where Matthew Stafford has 2 touchdowns and then they also give up a fumble, so it gives more opportunity to the Carolina Panthers? And I'm intrigued to see which Eagles offensively shows up and how Brock Purdy does against the top tier defense like the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm leaning towards I can see in the NFC Championship, I could say the Bears and Rams.
You gave me like 8 teams there. You basically said every team. You covered all bases there.
I mean, I'm an analyst, so
Yeah.
but here's why. Here's the real truth. The real truth is, if I don't mention all these teams, the teams that I don't mention that are playing, when I go to that game or I'm on the sideline reporting, they will say something to me. Oh, I saw you picked when Philly in Arizona, when Philly was playing Kansas City Chiefs. I have picked on like a couple of different ones. I would say, oh, I got the Eagles. Then the next one, I got the Chiefs. And I'm doing some things at the Super Bowl of the game. Patrick, strength coach, and equipment manager. Saw you pick the Eagles. I said, come on, bro. I went on another show and I picked the Chiefs. He said, didn't hear that one. So from now on, I'm going to make sure I hit every
team.
point, every team, so I can make sure I'm good, because I still got to do my job, man. I can't have one team blackballing me because I didn't pick them.
Whenever you're going into the Super Bowl and there's that 2-week break, does that feel like an eternity after you've been playing every week?
Mm-hmm. It is. It feels like an eternity, but it also allows you to get everything ready. There's a lot of planning that's involved, and you still have to practice. So you have practice to get prepared for the Super Bowl, our biggest event of the year. And yet you got family members chomping at the bit of how they're going to figure out to get those tickets. And when you go to Super Bowl, each player is allotted so many tickets that you're paying for, not for free, you're paying for. So they give you, I think, 10 tickets, or you get to purchase 10 tickets. Well, it's the biggest game, and football is crazy popular. Man, 10 tickets is not enough tickets.
So you're trying to
And so there's a lot of
tickets?
bartering and willing and dealing going on amongst players on the teams that are going to see, hey, are you going to use all 10 of your tickets? No. How much you going to sell them to you? And then you got a guy who starts to realize that he got a hot commodity. And so he starts to the price that he said for face value, now he maybe tries to get an extra $100. So it becomes a lot of willing and dealing going on.
With the halftime show making a longer halftime, did you feel that during the Super Bowl?
No, you don't. It goes by so fast. You don't feel any of that. It seems short.
Do you remember who played your halftime show when you guys were playing the Broncos?
I do, because it was umpteen years ago, because it was the infamous Justin Timberlake.
Oh,
and
that was the halftime
Janet
show
Jackson.
then?
Yeah.
Do you even hear about that during the second half at all?
No, we didn't. Unless you're listening to the broadcast. No.
Man,
And I'm on the
that's a big
field,
one.
so I don't have broadcasting ears to listen.
Yeah, I didn't know if he did or not. I didn't know if they. Yeah,
Oh, that's a great question. though.
Yeah.
That was crazy for us.
that was such
though.
a cultural moment. I didn't know if maybe word got back like Janet Jackson's nipple was just shown at halftime.
No, never went across our play sheet.
No nipple talk.
When we're sitting in we sitting there in the huddle, and they're going, "Hey, did you hear what happened at halftime?" That never happened.
But a little bit though. Let's say in a game, if something like you see somebody in the stands, like you see Samuel L. Jackson's here, Adam Sandler's here, like you see him over in row 3. You guys talk about that in the huddle, right?
We may talk about a huddle if you run out of bounds. It's really hard to see, and you kind of see the celebrities before the game. During the game, you're so locked in, you try not to pay attention to it. So when someone does say something, it's a big deal in the huddle.
Talk about your podcast for a second. What are you guys talking about on Cut to It?
Oh man, so Cut to It. I switched the name from Cut to It to 89 just recently, but we just talk about football, everything that's going on currently right now. Talk about the Carolina Panthers, and then John Harbaugh getting fired. We did that one on Tuesday night just because the news came Tuesday morning because the news came so early, and it was a surprise. And then obviously like today with Mike McDaniels, what does that look like? So we talk about everything about football. And then right now, when the playoffs start in the Super Bowl combine, I'll start getting in the nitty gritty of evaluating these wide receivers that are coming out. It's a ton of wide receivers, a ton of guys. So I'll do a little breakdown on them, what I like, what I think they need to work on. And that's been pretty successful, and I enjoy it. I love watching film still, so it kind of gives me a little niche. And I'm kind of a film nerd, so it lets me kind of geek out, and I enjoy it.
So it's called 89 now? You changed your name?
Yep, the 89 show, yeah.
Oh, the 89 show. That's much easier than just typing in 89.
Yeah, either one. No, it's the number 89. So you got to kiss, keep it simple, Steve.
Yeah.
So just 89 on YouTube.
All right.
And it's yellow, and it has the number 89.
Like the number 89.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
his number
Just making
89,
sure
yeah.
89. Yeah, you were there.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, look, I appreciate the time. We mentioned every team. You're covered. You can't go on a sideline without them being like Steve Smith. You said our team. We appreciate that. You can follow Steve at Steve Smith Senior 89, like his show, the 89 show on YouTube. All right, Steve, we really appreciate the time. I'm a big fan, so thank you very much for spending some time with us.
Appreciate it, man.
All right, see you,
Okay,
Steve.
have me on again.
All right, we
All right.
will. Okay, NFL-wise. Saturday night, Rams at Panthers. No spread. Rams at Panthers. Rams.
Yeah, Rams.
No heart. Just who's gonna win?
No spread.
Rams are gonna win that.
Okay.
No brainer.
Packers at Bears. What's surprising to me is that the Packers are a favorite on the road. The Bears are healthy. The Packers obviously aren't.
Yeah, I agree.
Their best player isn't playing. Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the Bears win.
Same.
Bears. Let's go, baby.
What do they know? That
Right.
the Packers have been there before, at least played in the playoffs?
Yeah, but
They're
Love
a-
hasn't
they're a-
played in like a month.
But that's what I'm thinking. Like, do they know that?
But they're a
Love-
favorite on the road.
Yeah. They don't trust Caleb?
Sunday, Chargers at. I'm going to take the Packers.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to
Because
be
we all
different
took
than you
Bears.
guys. Yeah, it's
I
like,
figured. I figured.
I look at you three and I'm like, idiot. So- and I lost $24,000.
Tough.
Sunday, Chargers at Patriots.
Let's go. We already know.
Patriots. Die hard.
Okay,
We need them.
I'll go Patriots. Bills at Jags.
I'm going Bills.
I'm going at Josh Allen.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
same.
That's it.
I feel like the Bills need this one. I feel like this is the Bills' year. So yes.
Just like Cowboys.
No, I just feel like the Bills for the first time don't have the Chiefs in the way.
Right.
So they can do it this time.
49ers at Eagles. I'm surprised the Eagles, and again, I know we're not talking spreads here. I'm surprised the Eagles are a 4.5-point favorite. I get it. The 49ers have lost their stars on defense, but they've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Their defense does suck. 49ers at Eagles. I'm going 49ers.
Yeah, same.
They could also have a massive future on them.
Yes. So yes.
So probably my heart talking there. Oh, that's what you meant by heart earlier.
The heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 49ers.
Really?
Yeah.
Brandon, say 49ers?
Niners, yeah.
Eddie, please pick the Eagles.
This hurts me, but I'm going to pick
Thank
the
God.
Eagles.
49ers will win, guys.
I got
We're all
Perfect.
good
Let's
then.
go.
We're all good then. Texans Steelers on Monday night.
Yeah, Houston.
Texans.
You got to go Texans.
I'm going with the Steelers.
Ah.
I feel like that's such a slam dunk Texans win that
Yeah.
I think the Steelers can do it. It is in Pittsburgh.
The Steelers got
Yeah.
so lucky to be there.
They're so hard to watch.
They won the games they needed to win.
Yeah.
I know. It just they wouldn't have been
Ugly
there.
division. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what it was. Same thing
Right.
with the Panthers.
Ugly-
That's the ugliest division.
Ugly kick is what it was.
Yeah, that sucked. Now let's get over to former Ohio State and NFL running back Beanie Wells. Beanie played for Ohio State from 06 to 08, had 16,000 yards rushing.
Wow.
That's right? The comment was put in the wrong place on this, but it's 16,000 yards rushing, right? That's got to be it.
Is that it?
Wait, 16,000. So if it's
No.
no, there's no
1,000?
way.
That's a lot.
There's no way.
Nope, that's a typo on me.
Okay, 1,600,000 yards rushing.
That's better.
Yeah, we got it now. How many yards Beanie Wells have? Leave this in, by the way.
Of course.
15 touchdowns. Maybe he just had 1,600 yards and 15 touchdowns in 2007.
One
7, yes,
season.
that's what it was. 1,600 yards.
Screw it. He had 16,000 rushing yards in
I
between
saw
06
it.
and
Yeah.
08. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was drafted by the Cardinals 31st overall. He set the Cardinals record with 228 yards in a game. You can now follow him on Twitter at Beanie Wells 26 to keep up with his work. Let's talk with him now. Here he is, Beanie Wells. All right, we got Beanie Wells on with us, which is pretty awesome. Hey, Beanie, I was checking out your podcast, which is it's on Ohio State, right? Called The Script.
Yes. Yep.
What's interesting to me is I went and played in this basketball camp once as an adult. So it's like guys just trying to relive whatever shred of athleticism they had back in the day. And your partner, Cardell Jones, was in it too. And he dominated everybody. It was so annoying. He was dunking. I just wanted to say that. Tell him that when he came to Arkansas and played that basketball, he was dunking on everybody. And I was like, man, you guys just don't lose it. Do you still have that twitch in you as well?
I don't. I wish I did. I can tell you one thing about Cardell. Anytime he's in any type of competition, he's going to go full force, no matter who he's going against. There was a situation to where, he was at the Ohio State James Hospital visiting kids that had cancer. And one of the kids wanted to play him in Madden. In that Madden game, Cardell took no prisoners. He beat the kid 70-0. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
Well, I appreciate the time. Everybody, check out The Script. It's a podcast on Ohio State. Hey, what did you think? What were your takeaways from that game against Miami?
I mean, it was brutal. It was very brutal. I mean, the Miami, they were so dominant at the point of contact. You have to love the pass rush that they have in Ruben Bain and Akeem Messidor. But for Ohio State, as a former Buckeye and as a Buckeye fan, watching that game, I was kind of in dismay. The fact that we couldn't pick up the blitz, we couldn't figure out ways to get the ball out quick and manufacture some type of offense on a consistent basis. It was disheartening to see because I thought this was a year Ohio State was trending in that Georgia type direction to where they'd be making a statement as being back-to-back national championships and going on and, making a run to create this dynasty. But unfortunately, they came up short, but Miami played their tails off.
You played for Coach Tressel, but can you give me some maybe some commentary on Ryan Day and why you think he is the guy for Ohio State?
I love Ryan Day. I think he's the perfect mix between Jim Tressel and Urban Meyer. He can be a feisty guy. He comes across as a very nice individual, but behind closed doors, he gets after his players. He makes sure that those guys are prepared. And one of the things that he has that a lot of people don't get a chance to see is that edge to make sure guys are in the right mental space because he's going to be, and he's preaching that to his players on a consistent basis. But then when you go looking at the X's and O's, Ryan Day's teams are always prepared, and him being a former offensive coordinator, he dials up offenses with the best. Now, unfortunately, versus Miami, it didn't show. But when you go look at his track record, he's always had Ohio State in contention to win a national championship down the stretch at the end of the year. And I think that's what you want out of a coach, to have your team in the thick of things when it matters most. And he's done just that.
I want to ask one other Ohio State question. You played with Brian Hartline, and then he obviously was coaching on the staff. He just took over the job at USF. What do you think about him as a head coach? What do you think about him as a player? Can you give me both of those?
Yeah, no, Hartline is overachiever as a player. He's one of those guys that's always going to have an edge. He always played with a chip on his shoulder, and that was the same way that you saw him coaching at Ohio State. You saw him go out and be able to go and get the 4 and 5 stars guys at the receiver position at an insane clip. But not only get those guys, but develop them. You talk about his track record of a who's who in the National Football League right now. You talk about Emeka Mbuka, the list goes on. Chris Wilson, Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson. I mean, the list goes on and on. Marvin Harrison Jr. He developed all of those guys, and it's due in part to the edge and the chip on his shoulder that he always had, and that dates back to high school. Hartline felt like he was a guy that was overlooked, even though he did end up getting a scholarship to go to Ohio State. He felt like there were a lot of guys always talked about more than him, so he approaches the game from a different perspective, like his back is against the wall, and I think he's going to do a heck of a job down there at USF.
What about you growing up in Akron? Did you feel like you had to go to Ohio State?
Initially, I did. Growing up, I had family, and there's a small portion of Akron that are Michigan fans. So, you have people that are Michigan fans, and that, growing up in the 90s, Ohio State didn't fare well versus the University of Michigan. So, me being a Buckeye fan, I was like, you know what? I got to go and avenge some of this. So when I got the opportunity to go to Ohio State, it was certainly the case that's where I wanted to go. Growing up a fan and not seeing them beat the arch rival, you had a nasty taste in your mouth. But there was a situation to where, as I'm being recruited, I take a trip out to Los Angeles and, go visit USC when Pete Carroll is, dominating college football. And there was a brief moment in me that was going to USC because what 16, 17-year-old kid doesn't love the lights of Los Angeles, especially when you got the USC who's running the world out there. There's no professional football team. So those guys, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Dwayne Jarrett, those guys were it in that town. So, there was a small portion of me that was going to USC when I went out there on my visit.
Did you ever commit to USC?
I did. I really did.
Dang.
So crazy thing is I committed to USC while I was still committed to Ohio State. But my mom shut that down so quick. My mom got on the phone. I literally called my parents. We're out to breakfast with Coach Carroll, and I'm like, I'm coming here. I'm telling him I'm going there. I call my parents, my mom and my dad. I tell them I'm going to USC. He chuckles. He passes the phone to my mom, and I say I'm going to USC, and then she gives me an earful and says, "Give Coach Carroll the phone." And all I see is his face starting to turn red, and I'm like, well, what did she say to you? She said, take you back to the airport immediately. So that was my short, brief 10-minute commitment to USC.
Where else did you visit?
So I didn't go to a lot of places. I went to the University of Michigan, went to Ohio State, and USC. That was it. Once I committed to Ohio State, it was a kind of a deal between me and Coach Tressel. Well, you can go to one more place to visit and see what you like. And, I think he kind of knew my parents wouldn't let me go all the way across the world to go to college. So he was like, yeah, go visit USC. Go check out what LA has to offer. And that was the one other place that I went.
I still think I have a bit of brand bias unfairly against Indiana, even after watching them be awesome, be dominant. I've just seen them for so many years not be. I've not seen a coach like Signetti come in and completely shift a program in 2 years like he has there. Indiana, they are the favorite to win the whole thing. What do you see from them that makes them so strong?
They're a complete football team. We talk so much about, Fernando Mendoza, but, it's not just Fernando Mendoza and what he's able to do in the pass game. They have a great offensive line. They got a two-headed monster, and Black and Hemby in the running back's position. But then on the defensive side, they get pressure like no other team in the country, and they're not talked about because there isn't that one dominant pass rusher that you see winning all the college football awards. They're a complete football team, and it's been nothing short of amazing to watch a coach come into a program that has been essential doormat for college football for so many years and resurrect it, and not only resurrect it, but resurrect it to the point in which he's had them in the highest points in college football, the college football playoff, the last couple of years. And I think they're probably going to win a national championship. This story, he's going to have a statue when it's all said and done outside in Bloomington, Indiana, because of what he's been able to do there at that program. But, it's been crazy. They're so good at every single position, and it's due in part to one, Kirk Cinetti, for him going out and finding the right guys in the portal. We hear so many people talk about the portal, but it's not an exact science to us, but he most certainly has it figured out because he's getting the right guys to be able to come into his program and be able to deliver right now.
They're killing it in the portal right now, but fairly because they've been really good the last couple of years, and they can now pitch that with money. But year one, he brought a lot of his JMU guys. It wasn't that they had a ton of money. It wasn't that they had established a winning culture that people knew about. How the heck has he done this?
I mean, I would say it goes back to the culture in which he had at JMU. He brought in guys that were familiar with the way that he did things, guys that were big time playmakers. Elijah Surratt is one of those guys that's still on the roster right now at Indiana, killing it. But when you bring in guys that understand the way you want to do things, now as a coach, you don't necessarily have to do it all on your own because these players can speak to the locker room. They can speak to the other players. They can kind of galvanize and get those guys infatuated with the way that you do things and knowing that is going to lead to the ultimate success because look, he won at the other programs. And now if I'm a guy that was on JMU's roster, I can tell a newbie on Indiana's roster, like all we have to do is listen and buy in and it works. And when you have other people in the locker room preaching that same message, I mean, that thing makes everything cohesively and it makes everything gel so much easier. But it's crazy. It's wild to see because we haven't seen anything like it in college football. A guy that come in from a smaller program, go up to the big leagues essentially, and dominate in the fashion in which he's did. I mean, one of the all-time great coaching stories that we'll see in college football history.
Yeah, it's been odd, but refreshingly odd because, and I've compared it to, in a different way, Adrian Peterson bouncing back from injury so fast that it actually showed you could do it. And so then, fairly or unfairly, people were trying to match themselves to that standard. Like Adrian Peterson's back, he's running the ball months after he was injured. It let people know. But now all these coaches are getting compared to Signetti, fairly or unfairly, because he came in and changed that word that's thrown around so much, culture. Have you been, and I don't want you to say any names if you don't want to, but have you been in bad cultures before?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. You know, when you play football, we play any sport for a long period of time, you're going to experience it. And, you know, the one thing that you can't let happen with the culture is once you start losing the locker room, you start losing some of your veteran players, that stuff starts to trickle down. And everybody starts to kind of, you know, start questioning the system and start trying to, you know, figure out their own way. And once, you know, people start figuring out their own way, I mean, nobody's gelling together. Nobody's together. So that's the most awful thing that can happen to a program is you lose a locker room and you lose your veteran leadership. That can go south really quick.
Let's talk about the portal. I feel like it's the Wild West. I'm sure you do too. The story that I was thinking about this morning was the Williams kid, the quarterback at Washington, and you know he signs $4 million a year. They've pretty much said that's what it was. Now he signed the paperwork, and then now it's like, hey, LSU's offered him $6 million, so he wants to go to LSU now, and that is just that's representative of kind of what's happening now. I mean, it is definitely on the polar side of it of somebody who signs and then probably gets poached and said, hey, we'll give you even more money. Like, what are your thoughts in general on what the portal? I think players should be paid, first of all. I think absolutely players should be paid. But there's got to be some sort of boundary, right?
100%. I mean, I honestly think they should be paid as well. But when we talk about, you know, guys, you know, agreeing to something and then, you know, all of a sudden voting, thinking they're going to get more dollars and going to greener pastures. I mean, I think that's where we have to, you know, get this thing reeled in a little bit. And obviously on one end, we see it with coaches too, because coaches, you know, can leave and go to a different program for more dollars, i.e. Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss. But nonetheless, I mean, when it comes to the portal, we don't necessarily even talk about the fact that a lot of these kids, if you don't pan out after that 1 year, you may be pushed back into the portal. So I think, you know, there has to be some collective bargaining agreement that is in place for these guys to not only protect the players, but protect the university. Because if I shell out, you know, $4 million, I want to know that this guy is going to be committed to this program and not leave me after a year and after he has a great year just because a program says we're going to give him $2 more million. Now, let it be a situation to where I can come and necessarily up my contract that I'm offering a kid before he says, you know what, I'm leaving and going elsewhere. I don't like that standpoint of it. I think there needs to be some rules to rein it in on both phases to protect both the player and the university, because nobody wants to be left in the dark. And then in the flip side, nobody wants to be pushed out if I don't necessarily live up to the contract you gave me the year before.
You bring up something really interesting, and I think we saw it with the receiver at Texas who is now going to Oklahoma. He basically said, hey, I was pushed out. Like, it's not all just players going, hey, I want to leave for more. Some players are getting in the portal because the coaches are going, we don't have a spot for you anymore. You got to get in the portal. And I think there has to be something there too, right, to protect players.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, just imagine if you are, you got a kid and you're trusting a coach and a program to say, you know what, my son's going to commit to you and we're going to expect you to go develop my son, not only to be a great football player, to be a great young man, to be a great student. And then all of a sudden, the program isn't winning, and we're trying to figure out ways as a program to go out and get players that are going to help us win right now. Your son is going to be exiled because he is a player that's making an impact right now because he didn't develop soon enough. Like, I don't want that. I wouldn't want that as a parent. I mean, nobody would. So, you have to put in some rules and parameters to protect these student athletes, if we're still going to call them student athletes, right? If you're still going to have the expectancy for these guys to go to school and go to class and to be students, you still have to protect him some way, form, or fashion. I don't want my kid to be pushed out just because he isn't producing right now for you, because he's still a young kid. He still needs time to develop. He knows he needs to figure out how to be a student athlete, but also be a young adult in the same sense. And it's not easy, especially in this day and age, in this climate, where it's become more about winning and dollars than anything.
The timing of the portal opening is terrible. I think everybody agrees on that. I mean, you have running backs at Oregon hopping in the portal. They're still in the tournament. If you were the commissioner of college football, like, what is the one thing you would do with the portal to at least give it some sort of semblance of it being collective and unified and working?
Not even just with the portal, but I think just with everything that we've experienced this year with college football, from the coaching changes to the portal to signing day, I think we need to bump this thing up. We need to move the schedule up to where it's a clear-cut date to where we're going to be done by, to where the portal opens after the season and you can take a new job after the college football season. Make this thing done in the early part of January, to where we're not faced with these situations to where a Lane Kiffin has to decide on if I can finish up my college football season where I'm at Ole Miss and still be able to take a job elsewhere and finish up a recruiting class, or go out and get the portal guys that I need to help me for the following season. So I think it's a whole college football issue. It's not just a portal issue, but they most certainly have to fix this calendar if they don't want these issues to continue to be a problem and for us to be sitting here talking about these issues next year. We can't. It's too much money at stake. It's too much at stake for this to be an issue when it's a simple fix.
Ole Miss is playing with their new head coach, but obviously he wasn't the head coach all year, and their old coach is at LSU right now, and that makes me root for Ole Miss. I would love to see Ole Miss win. I'm not an Ole Miss fan. As a matter of fact, I don't like Ole Miss because I'm an Arkansas guy, but I'm rooting for Ole Miss because I would love to see Lane Kiffin leave for a team he thinks can win a national championship and watch his team win a national championship. As someone who doesn't live in SEC country, what are your feelings on Ole Miss? Are you rooting for them or against them?
Yeah, I'm rooting for Ole Miss, no question about it. I think it's like between Indiana and Ole Miss, they're the best stories in college football, right? I mean, I honestly couldn't believe Lane Kiffin decided to bolt and go to LSU when he's shown right now you can win at Ole Miss. You can get the guys, you can get the players, and they're essentially going to give you the money to go out and get more players and give you everything that you need at your disposal to win. And you decide to go to a program at LSU where the expectation is going to be so much higher. It didn't make sense to me. It didn't make sense. At the end of the season this year, he would have had a statue at Ole Miss and been riding high forever, and then he would have been able to go out and get recruits at a high rate that he wasn't before at Ole Miss. I mean, it just made no sense. The issue that I have, especially with him going to LSU, if he doesn't win in 3 or 4 years at LSU, he's going to be on the hot seat, and he's going to be scratching his head saying, did I make the right decision? Hell, he may even be scratching his head at the end of the year if LSU or Ole Miss wins a national championship, saying if I made the right decision.
Carnell Tate just said he's going to the NFL. What advice do you give new guys going in from what your experience was?
One, enjoy the process. You're getting an opportunity to live out a lifelong dream. So take it for that, but also understand that this is a business. Understand that there's certain expectations of you that maybe weren't of you at the college ranks. And you're going into this, and you have to understand that it's a business first, and you are the captain of your ship, meaning you call the shots. Don't let, an agent or, some marketing guy kind of force you in a certain direction. Understand the narrative that you want for yourself and the path that you want to go with your career, and that you are at the helm. You're the captain of this boat, and you drive it in a direction that you want to go in.
I want to ask you a question just about you in high school, because I'm always so interested in guys who were number one. You were the top running back out of high school, which is awesome. And yeah, congratulations on that, retro. Was it just wild in the stands to see all the scouts or all the coaches always there, or the fan? I mean, it had to be crazy, right? Was it about you a lot when you were in high school?
It was from my junior year to my senior year. It definitely was. and it was a whirlwind. It was a crazy time. I mean, this is when recruiting magazines and recruiting pundits were really starting to get popular, right? So all of those guys were at the games, and I felt like after the game I was doing, I don't know, 6-7 interviews, and then obviously you had the scouts there. So it was a fun time. It was a wild time because it was all new to me. And my family for that matter. But nonetheless, it was a great opportunity. And looking back on it, man, I wish I would have enjoyed it a little bit more because you really never know how fast that time period goes. I mean, that was 20 some odd years ago, and it literally feels like it was yesterday. So I most certainly wish I would have taken it in and enjoyed it a little bit more. But it was a fun time. It was most certainly, fun seeing Jim Tressel, Lloyd Carr, the Urban Meyers of the world at your school, at your game, walking through your halls, and then all of the other kids in the school pointing and seeing, oh, they're talking to Beanie right there. It was an amazing time.
Was your mailbox just full?
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, my mom still has tubs of the letters that I got in college, and now my sons get an opportunity to read them. And as they're going through the recruiting ranks, they're comparing their letters to the letters that I was getting in college. So it's a fun time.
What advice are you giving them as they're going through the process?
Oh man, just work. I'm telling them all the time, just keep working. I mean, things will come and, you'll end up where you're ultimately supposed to be, but you have to put in the work because without it, I mean, you're going to be nothing. And there's always going to be somebody outworking you or working just as hard as you think you are. So just keep working nonetheless.
Let me ask you one final question about the NFL. Obviously, you played in Arizona. You crushed it there. What's happening there? They just fired their coach. Like, what you talk about culture? Did they have it?
It doesn't look like it right now. Most certainly. I mean, especially when you're in a situation to where you're running through multiple coaches, you're running through multiple GMs and people in the front office. That's a tough task. It's hard to build a culture when you don't have that continuity upstairs in the front office. And I think right now that's what we're seeing. I mean, they're not giving guys a lot of time to win, and that's how it is in the National Football League in general. They want to win right now. So you're getting 2 to 3 years to go out and develop a program, build a culture, and expect it to win. And that's a hard task, but it starts in the front office. I think when Steve Keim was there, when he was at the GM position, they were winning games. They were doing a really good job in retaining players and bringing players in from the free agency aspect. And right now, they just haven't been able to get it done. And I think it starts upstairs. They have to figure out the right guys and the right pieces to the puzzle. And Bidwell, who's the owner, he's a great owner. He's willing to give, the GM and the coaching staff whatever they need to win, but it has to, start with whoever they choose at the GM position.
Over on Twitter, Beanie Wells 26. Hey, your CBS analysis is really good. I don't know how long you've been doing this, but we were coming on. I went to watch a lot of your clips. Like, you're really coming into it. You enjoy that?
Oh, I love it, man. It's the best thing in the world for me. I mean, growing up, obviously, I wanted to play in the National Football League. That was a dream of mine. But secondly, it was to, talk about the sport for a living. And, I'm fortunate enough to be able to do that. It's something that's fun to me because I actually love college football. So it's not even like work to me whatsoever. That's why I'm always honed in and dialed into what's going on across the landscape because I actually enjoy it.
Beanie, really appreciate the time. Was a big fan of you when you played. And, thanks for coming on with us. Hope you have a good rest of the day.
All right. Thank you for having me.
See you, Beanie. All right, let's build the college football parlay here with DraftKings. Tonight, Miami -3 versus Ole Miss. I feel like my heart is weighing too much on me here. I really want Ole Miss to win because I want Ole Miss to win it all because I want Ole Miss to win it all with a different coach. I don't even like Ole Miss. I don't hate Ole Miss. But I have no affiliation. I don't even root for the SEC because it's the SEC. Like, that doesn't really happen as much as it used to. That's not why I'm rooting for Ole Miss. I'm rooting for Ole Miss because I love the disaster of they win a national championship without their coach who left them because he could win a national championship somewhere else. So I'm just going to go over 52.5.
Oh, okay. Smart. Okay, good. Yeah.
So
I feel like
your heart
I
out
have
of it.
too much of a bias.
Yep. And when you bet, that's kind of what you want to do. Take that bias out.
If I go to Friday night, Oregon at Indiana, I think Oregon wins the game straight up.
Let's go.
Anytime in my life, well, most times, that people are, well, this is a for sure thing in sports.
Yes.
It turns out not to be a for sure thing.
Like when all the commentators pick the same team, it's not good.
Like when you say the Cowboys are for sure going to win,
But
they
sometimes-
almost always lose.
Not always.
I'm going to go Oregon plus 3.5.
Okay.
I'm hedging my bet there.
But see, isn't that one kind of a heart? That's a heart bet.
No, because I don't have a heart in this. I really don't care.
Okay.
I think Oregon can win that game. But I'm going to go Oregon plus 3.5. I think that's going to be the parlay. Do I need to do 3?
Well, you need to hit the was it 375, Mike?
Is that what it is? Plus 375?
The odds
You know what? Over 48.5. I never bet unders.
over 48.5 on the second game.
And
Oregon?
Indiana's got a really good
I
defense.
mean, Indiana.
Really? Yeah. So does Oregon.
Yeah. Screw it. We're going overs on both
Okay.
and Oregon plus 3.5.
All right.
That's the parlay. DraftKings Sportsbook, every drive, every play, every moment. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the code BobbySports. That is the code BobbySports to turn $5 into $300 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Before we get to the games tonight, as far as actually watch them, what do you think about Michael Irvin and Miami? Because he's become a bit of the face,
Yes.
like with his antics.
And I love Michael Irvin.
'Cause you're a Cowboys
I'm
guy.
a Cowboys fan.
Yep.
Michael Irvin's a Cowboy, man. Like, I love the dude. It's a little too much to me.
You mean the whooping, the belt whooping,
The
every
belt
game?
whooping. I'm talking even like watching the games and between every play, let's see what Michael Irvin thought
It's
about
like
that
he has
play.
his own area on the field.
You're right, because he runs back and forth and dancing, like, oh, and he talks to the players. He's almost like Matthew McConaughey has been for the last, I don't know, how many years has Matthew McConaughey been on that field
With Texas?
with Texas to Miami. So
He's way worse though.
Irvin
Like he's
is-
more his antics. I'm saying like he's much more visible out there
'Cause
and
he's
much more
loud.
noticeable. Yeah.
A little more polarizing too because he is active.
Right.
McConaughey's not. He's there and people put the camera on him because he's famous.
Yeah.
Michael Irvin's there and he wants the camera, so he's doing things to keep the camera on him.
Because even Ray Lewis is there and
Yeah.
he's chilling.
He doesn't stand by
No.
Irvin.
No.
He's like, I'm out.
What do you think about him?
Yeah, it kind of annoys me a little bit. It just annoys me when they take, like the Taylor Swift stuff was kind of annoying too. Like we're watching the game, and I know Michael Irvin is he went to Miami. He's a huge, supporter of Miami, and he's the face of Miami. I get it, but I want to watch the game, and I think Michael Irvin takes that away from the team that's actually playing the game.
You think Travis Kelce's retiring?
Yes.
You?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't know. I just don't think he'd go out like that.
Bad. Yeah, he goes that sour.
Like bad.
Well,
bad.
now he's also on the drama with his charity.
I saw that.
Oh, I didn't see
don't-
that.
I don't know
Oh
about
my
this.
God, dude.
Do they steal money?
Money laundering.
That's where my mind goes.
So I'm not gonna say, and you may look it up because I'm gonna give you what I know, and this is without reading the articles. That I think when they did some investigating of his charities, like 40% of it went to the actual cause, 60% went to the people that were running the charity, and the people that were running a charity were like his close. And that's not out of the ordinary.
No, that's normal.
Yeah, but they're going, well, you're a really rich dude, and it's your foundation. We think more money should be going to the charity other than just paying like your people that are your possible friends and family that are running the charity.
Mm.
There's nothing illegal happening. And with most charities, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, I've
You
dealt
pay,
with
for
charities.
you pay for the infrastructure.
and the people running the charity, the people working for the charity needs to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of, it's a weird thought to think that you have money and some of it, not all of it, goes to whatever the cause is because people need to get paid.
I think it's really dumb and short-sighted when people go, man, this CEO of a charity makes $1 million a year. That shouldn't happen. But okay, let's say you get somebody that makes $50,000 a year and the charity makes $1 million overall. Or you get someone you pay $1 million that would be running another company and that charity makes $700 million
Because they know what they're doing.
because they know what they're doing. Like, do you actually care about the cause? Because if you did, you wouldn't so much care about how much money somebody makes if they're making more money for the cause.
Yep.
So I always think those people are idiotic that complain about CEOs of a charity making money.
Yeah.
Because if they weren't doing that, they'd be running a company.
Yes.
But they go and hire people that run companies well to run this charity. What do you see, Kevin?
Yeah, it says about 41 cents of every dollar has gone to the charity.
And,
Raised in the last couple of years, 1.5 million and spending roughly 1.1 million.
And who is running the charity? Does it?
It is a A&A Management Group, a firm co-founded by Travis Kelce's longtime business manager.
So that's connected to him too.
Sure.
I don't think anything's wrong, but that's the controversy now.
I don't think there's anything wrong either. I mean, yes, it's a little weird. It sounds weird, right? It sounds weird that more money doesn't go to the actual cause of the charity. But I understand it, so
I
it's
think
not
this
weird to
one's
me.
amplified though because it's Travis Kelce and he's dating Taylor Swift, and he's also a really rich guy. And you're like, well, why don't you just pay the people to run the charity because you have millions and millions of dollars?
What do you think about that?
I think it's unfair to judge him
Because he's rich.
differently because of the accomplishments and the success that he's had.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think they're running the charity as the charity should be run.
Yep.
From what I know very little. I haven't been in the books. Give me the books. I'll get in the books.
Give me a week with the books.
Give me the books.
Let me dive in here.
We'll see how I come out. But yeah, I tend to think if Mahomes is healthy enough to come back at the beginning of next year,
He'll come back.
that he may come back as well. It is an ugly way to leave.
Yeah, dude, this is a bad year.
Bad taste in your mouth, sour out.
When's the wedding?
Who knows?
There's no date.
My invitation says,
Pull it up.
Brandon opened for Taylor Swift
yeah.
That's right.
Yes, he did.
on the Red Tour, right?
Oh yeah.
We're not kidding.
No,
Yeah.
no, not a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you're making it sound like we're kidding.
I
and
know.
shit.
You wanna
Uh-huh.
te-
Yeah,
tell us
yeah.
a little more?
What was she like, dude?
She was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, everything everybody says, sweet, kind, takes care of everybody.
Would she talk to you in person? Like look
Yeah.
at you and be, hey, Brandon.
I think she got my name wrong a few times, but I didn't care. But by the end of it, she knew it. And
That's
her
Braylon.
mom-
cool.
Hey, Braylon.
What's going on, Braxton? I'm like,
Hey,
whatever.
Braden.
That's cool though. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Who's the favorite to win the Super Bowl according to the odds? Eddie? I know you haven't seen it, so.
I have not seen it. I'm going to guess the Bills.
No.
No.
No. Bad. They're plus 1,100.
Dang,
so
that's a good
so you
bet.
should bet on that then.
That's a really good
I
bet.
got a little bit on them as a future.
Yeah, I did too. Like a couple months ago. About a month
The
ago.
Seahawks are the favorite
Oh yeah.
at plus
Oh, wow.
320. The Rams are second at plus 400. And I think if the Rams win this week, that'll probably even itself out. I think the Seahawks are getting that slight edge because they have a bye week.
Yeah. And the home field throughout.
Yeah. The Broncos at 3, the Patriots at 4 at plus 900. But the big gap is between the Rams and the Broncos.
Goes from, what did you say, 3 plus 300 to 900?
Plus 650 is the Broncos. Patriots, Eagles, Buffalo, Jacksonville, Houston, Green Bay, Chicago, San Francisco, the Chargers. The Steelers and Panthers are at plus 20,000.
Dang.
Oh, that's a nice payout.
I'll
Hey,
bet
what
on
do-
that?
Just an update because I haven't seen it and you have. What do we owe on our Skins League going to the playoffs?
Boys.
You did the math?
I didn't do the math.
No,
I'm
he
just
just looked at the
looking at the
website.
math. 4,900.
That's what we're down before the postseason.
So basically $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
which would mean I owe 25. You guys owe 1250 each. We need the Patriots to win to only lose like $100 this week.
Okay, just this week.
But if they lose, we lose like $700.
And then we stop making money.
Yeah,
we're
then
done,
it's-
Yeah,
right?
we're
Then-
done.
then
But we
we're
don't make money the
teamless.
first 2 weeks. We're just trying to stay even. They need to win so we don't lose money the first
Okay,
2 weeks.
Okay.
The only thing that makes me feel better is we don't owe the biggest.
That doesn't make me feel better.
What's that number right now?
That's 7,900.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh, my
Oof.
goodness. Dude, that would sting.
If the Patriots, just doing some math for you guys so you can know, if we're at 49 now and there are, 6 games?
This weekend? Yeah. I thought you were talking about the
No
Patriots.
one
I was
wants
So
like,
to
we
answer.
could basically lose another 1,000 this week, another 1,000 the next week if the Patriots lose. So if we lose, the Patriots win, we're probably even.
So it doesn't matter.
Now 500. So I would say we could lose if they lose this week. We're going to be down 1,000 more after next week. So we could lose another $1,500-$1,600 if the Patriots lose immediately. We will.
Okay, the Patriots lose this week.
We're going to lose another $1,500-$1,600. So it's going to be basically
I'd say $8,000, right? Just
no,
to be safe. No.
5. No, probably 7.
Okay, 7 for the season.
I would say.
Oh, yeah, that's
Do you
what I
want
meant,
super
7.
conservative?
Yeah. No, I want real.
Well, I
Realistic.
can't do the real because
I want worst case scenario.
Yeah, worst case realistic.
7,500.
Okay.
We need the Patriots to win, or that's going to be what it is.
And the Panthers, right?
Yeah, what about the Panthers winning? What if they win the whole thing?
If they win the whole thing, that's going to save us $400.
Go.
All right.
That's something.
It's
Let's
already
go.
impossible, but okay.
Guys, I know it's January, but should we start a car wash? Should we
A food drive.
any offerings?
So we could lose. Let's just say
So bad.
what's up.
That's so bad. Those numbers are bad. Like Like I know every time you do something like this, you're like, oh, there's a chance we can probably owe a lot of money. But I wasn't really ready for all that. I wanted us to be like, oh my gosh, we want $10,000 off this thing. This is awesome.
And we definitely could have.
We could have.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't.
So if we get to 7,500, each of you guys will owe $1,800 basically.
Okay.
So just say the worst case scenario, $2,000
Okay.
And why didn't Brandon jump on this?
because he's smart.
Remember you wanted to go splitting
thirds.
thirds there, Eddie?
Yeah, I was
did.
never
Thank
asked,
goodness.
Here's the question for you
Smart.
guys:
You want to jump in now, Brandon?
Take over for me.
Maybe next year.
Will you guys want to get in next year?
Nope.
I have to think about it.
I'll get in next year.
Are you?
Let's see the damage this year, and then we'll think about
It
it.
shouldn't be that though. You
No.
should already
No?
know based on what's happening.
Well, no, I got to know how much to save all year.
Hey, I'll be in next year without a doubt. Because if I lose a bunch this year, I'll probably be about even again. Because I had a couple good years in a row.
There's got to be some conditions.
There will be no conditions.
No,
You can't make conditions.
Hear me out. You can't blame me when Joe Burrow gets hurt.
We didn't. We
You
just,
made me
it wasn't
feel
about
like
that.
crap for a whole
We
month.
said we fought about it, and if I also said if the Bengals win, it's your victory.
Yeah, but that wasn't going to happen.
But it doesn't matter. I said before Joe Burrow got hurt, if the Bengals end up being a really good team, this is before Burrow got hurt, you're the one that was right the whole time.
Yeah.
It wasn't just take the shots at you. It was you also get to be the hero too, because you fought for the Bengals over the Packers.
Yeah, my crystal ball was foggy.
That's all right. So we are going to do a NCAA Calcutta.
I know. I saw that email. I don't think I can do that.
Those are awesome.
It's
and you
too
don't
close to the damage.
But you don't. Yeah, maybe for you. Maybe, but you don't lose more. There's the limit on your losing. You bid on teams, so you can bid $500 and get a team,
Dude, it's crazy.
but you don't lose any more than what you already pay in.
You can sit in the draft and then you're like, all right, I'm going to do $20, and then you never have a chance to play, so you have no team.
You get a 13 seed.
Yeah.
But the more your team wins, the more money you make.
Yeah, just like this NFL season.
Let us breathe, dude. I got to breathe a little bit.
I'm not saying you have to be in.
I know. I saw the email. And I
My
was just-
favorite thing is the Calcutta, NCAA Calcutta.
It's fun. March Madness.
Yeah.
It's fun.
All right, we're done.
Think about that for a little bit.
What's up?
Just think about all that.
We need the Patriots to win
We do.
Yes, we do.
because it will save us a bunch of money.
Are there any other teams that we should be rooting for that people have as losers?
Well, yeah, one guy has the Seahawks as a loser, so he's lost a bunch of money. So if they eventually lose,
Or if they lose
they're going to make
immediately?
money. Well, they're not going to lose it this week.
No, the next week.
Yeah. So because they also get money for winning if they're on a bye. It's a free money as well.
Oh, really?
no.
So they got to win?
man.
So they got to win.
Dang.
They earned it, man.
Sure did.
All right. All right, we're out. We'll see you guys next week. Eddie, blow the whistle.
Here we go.